Our engagement research project, we're looking at using the iPad and tablet computers to investigate what that can do to pupil and teacher engagement. So the starting point for our project was fairly simple. Two teachers of a like-minded interest in tablet computers came together. From my perspective in ICT, I wanted to know what happens to your teaching practice when you no longer need to be tied to the front of the room to demonstrate things to students and to share ideas with them. And from Joya's perspective in drama, she wanted to know whether or not tablet computers, like the iPad, could improve pace and engagement in drama lessons and activities. So we had to set a direction for that and come up with some aims for a project, which we did. The aims between drama and ICT were to investigate the potential impacts of tablet computers on pupil and teacher engagement. And we set off on our little course. And the first thing we had to do really was get to grips with the actual technology involved, and mostly that involves the mirroring using the AirPlay system with an iPad, Apple TV and a projector. And what it allows us to do is take anything which is on the screen of the iPad and project that through the Apple TV to the projector without any cables needing to be involved from the iPad to the projector, which means you're completely free to move around the room whilst still demonstrating and modelling things for your students. It also meant that, for example, in drama, they could take live video and share that on the big screen through the iPad and other things such as photographs. So we had to get to grips with how that technology worked first, how it worked over our wireless networks, whether or not it could hold up the signal long enough, and whether or not we could get used to switching between apps on the iPad quickly. The next stages of the investigation were to get in there and actually, once we got to grips with the technology, it was using the iPad and the AirPlay and allowing the teacher the freedom to move around the room and actually teach a lesson, and recording some data as well. So the challenge that we kind of identified for the teacher was very much based around adapting your teaching practice to a new method of delivering your lessons. We taught several lessons using the technology, and we reviewed it between the two of us as staff. What was the high points, what were the low points, what really worked, what was difficult, what did we have to keep running in our mind all the time. And we reviewed it with the students to allow us to kind of gather some data together and help us plot the next stages of our project. And the next stages of our project was quite sensibly really, was sharing the knowledge that we had gathered and expanding the collaborative element of our project. So it was decided to share the initial findings with a small group of interested teachers, and the intention of that was to generate some interest and expand the people involved in the project. So after the first stages, like I say, were a success, and once we'd got to grips with the technology and we were confident sharing that with other people, we invited some like-minded teachers into our staff room for an afternoon after school, and we gave them a live demonstration of how the AirPlay mirroring system works. And we sat down and we talked through the technology behind it and what the objectives had been for ourselves, what the initial impact had been in the classroom, how the students had responded to it, how we had responded to it. And we invited staff to ask questions based around the ideas of, what do you see as the benefits of the system? What do you see as the problems to the system? How would you like to see sort of support and planning put in place? And the result of that was that we've now expanded the team to include members of the geography department, design and technology, media department and the art department, all of whom were really excited and really interested in what we shared with them and wanted to be involved in expanding the project with us. So where do we go from there? Well, we're at the stage now where Joya and I, through drama and ICT, are pretty confident in what we're doing with the iPads in the classroom, and we are still team teaching and observing each other and giving each other feedback and developing that practice together. But we're now at a stage where we've expanded the team and we're doing some future planning, and the initial stages of that future planning are what you can see on the screen right now. We're going to get teams to buddy up and share their ideas and planning and do some team teaching. and then we're going to do some cross-team sharing of the progress, the highs and the lows, and then the team members are going to set their own personal investigation goals and work on that.